Hello and welcome to Heartlight Vedic Astrology. In today's talk I was going to cover the concept of Karako Bhava Nashaya in Vedic Astrology or Jyotish. So let's go ahead. Just so you know, if you're interested in learning Jyotish, Vedic Astrology, I have all of my teaching videos in my concepts playlist so that they're easy to find. And as far as the topic today, there are several videos I would suggest watching before this one if you're new to astrology or Jyotish. Those would be the video on North, South, East Indian style charts. So you're familiar with the layout of North style charts. That's what I use in my work. There's also Introduction to Navigating a Birth Chart, which I would recommend. And then there's a whole playlist on planets, grahas. Grahas is the Sanskrit for planets. Where I talk about the symbolism of the different planets, because you'll need to know that for this talk today. So, Karako Bhava Nashaya, what is it? It's a fairly simple concept. It might be counterintuitive in some ways. It actually is pretty common in a lot of birth charts, so it's something you'll see quite frequently. But let's break down the words and then we'll put it all together in terms of what this means in terms of interpretation of a chart. So Karako is similar to the word Karaka. Karaka means symbol. So when we say a planet is a Karaka of mother, it means the planet is the symbol for mother. And the planet that symbolizes mother is the moon, for example. Bhava means house, and there are 12 houses in a horoscope. And then Nashaya means destruction. So when you put this all together, if you take the Karaka, the symbol, the planet of a particular person, and it's located in the house that also represents that particular person, you get this phenomenon called Karako Bhava Nashaya. Now, you might think, okay, so if I have the moon, which is the planet that symbolizes mother, in the fourth house that represents the mother, that would be a good thing. But in fact, it actually tends to cause problems. Not just between the person whose chart we're analyzing, but sometimes the relationship can be very good, but sometimes there are issues with that person nonetheless. Maybe they have chronic health problems, maybe they have mental health problems, maybe they have problems with finances or work, and it's just something that actually can be a bit of a drain or at least a concern for the person whose chart we're analyzing, even if the relationship between them is okay or even good, very good. So what are these combinations? So the planets that we look at for this phenomenon are Mars, because Mars represents siblings, and some people will use that as younger siblings. Not everybody does. Some people use Mars for all siblings, younger or older. And the house that represents siblings is the third house. So when you have Mars, the Karaka planet representing, symbolizing siblings in the third house, representing siblings generally, but possibly younger siblings, then you get this Karako Bhava Nashaya phenomenon. And in that case, there's usually issues with the siblings. Sometimes with the relationship between the person we're analyzing, the chart that we're analyzing, whoever chart that is, and the sibling, or within the sibling and their life in and of themselves. So, again, maybe health, work, finance, that sort of thing. So also we have the moon, which is the Karaka planet that represents mother. And when the moon is located in the fourth house, which is the house or bhava of mother, we also have this phenomenon. Then we have Jupiter, which represents children. If Jupiter is located in the fifth house, which is the bhava of children, the house of children, we also get this phenomenon. Venus, which represents the spouse, if that's located in the seventh house, which is the bhava or house of spouse, then we also get this phenomenon. Again, if it's Venus that's in the seventh house, then the issues would be potentially in the relationship between the person we're analyzing, the horoscope we're analyzing, and the spouse, or within the spouse in and of themselves. So again, maybe health, work, finance, whatever. Also, we have the sun, which represents father. When the sun is in the 9th house, which is the bhava of father, we get this phenomenon. Some people also use Jupiter, besides representing children. Everybody, I think, uses Jupiter to represent children, but some people use Jupiter to represent older sibling, but not everybody. And so some people also use the 11th house as the bhava of older siblings. So some people differentiate between Mars and Jupiter for younger and older siblings. So it is possible, although I don't tend to use it much, that Jupiter in the 11th house can also be a Karako Bhava Nashaya. All right, so fairly simple concept, but fairly common. So, and again, a little bit different from what you might expect, just right out of the gate. So there you have it, fairly simple but very useful concept in Vedic Astrology, Jyotish, Karako Bhava Nashaya. I hope you found this helpful and useful as you navigate chart yourself or follow along as some of us are navigating charts. Again, all my teaching videos on Jyotish are in my concepts playlist, and if you're interested in a personal reading from me, I can be reached at heartlightastro@yahoo.com. Until the next one, take care. Namaste.